Hello, I'm Dwight Norris of FishNetwork.com, and today we're going to talk about my fishing on vacation story at the Jupiter Inlet in Jupiter, Florida. If you look at the your screen overlay here, you'll see I have a nice little dot on Google Maps that shows you exactly where Jupiter Inlet is. And it's one of the main corridors that people in Jupiter, Florida will take their boats out from all the areas where they store them, which is generally along this area here. There's lots of restaurants, high class places. A lot of fishing charters will actually set up here so they don't waste time like traveling to I think it's the Loxahatchee River, and waste time like traveling through here at nominal speed and having to go under this bridge that has to lift up and another one that lifts up, because they only do that every hour. So most of them are really in this area here, and then come out this inlet. Now the thing here is, let's zoom in. The river moves quickly here, and I was fishing in this place called Dubois Park. Maybe it's French. You know, the French went down to Florida looking for the what was it called? The water of life. I think they could live forever, but I think all they found was Lake Okeechobee and a whole lot of alligators. That does not bring life. um, but there are two main areas you can enter this park. One is through Dubois Road here, and it's a little looping area. You can park in this place right here, and then you can set up and you can fish along the shoreline here. And there's really no fish right here in this flat. All the fish are actually in the inlet and are pretty close, per se, to these rocks. And I'm not sure how to describe the speed of the water when there's an outflow or an inflow. When I was there, the tide was going out, and it was usually, I got there twice, and it was right after slack tide. So once it starts moving, it moves. And basically, I could throw my lure all the way to the left, and within 30 seconds, it would be all the way to the right. I'm talking, a 2 ounce weight. I have some shrimp on there or some squid, and it's like boom. If I want to cover area, great. But there's lots of large rocks here, and they're covered in barnacles and they're weird shapes. They're not like boulders. They're just odd shapes. So your weight, even though it's round, will get like caught under them, around them. Sometimes you can get out by just jiggling a lot or moving in different directions, but most times you can't. And then the worst part is, once you get hung and you look down, you'll see fish going by. And you don't even know what the hell they are. Like, I couldn't figure out what many of them are, but I've been hearing some feedback on Instagram and Pinterest about what the things I thought were or something else. One thing I thought was a black drum turned to be something called a margate. Now, if you know what it is, please go down below in this YouTube video and write in the comments about like margates, and can you eat them? How well do they taste? How often do you catch them? Where do you catch them? I'll tell you where I caught them, but it wasn't on this particular trip. It was actually on the next part of my trip, which will be a different video I'll make tomorrow or the day after that. It's going to be a series, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to break them up because so many things happen each day. So, back to this. I started off by fishing this rocky shoreline here, and right during this lip there's a kind of abscess area where the water kind of slows down. And I was like, okay, the water's slowing down here. I obviously can't make it work on this inlet side. The rocks are crazy, but my bait's just moving way too fast. And I see fish going along the rocks, just traveling up the river. I'm like, damn, why can't I get them to bite? So I throw in this little area where the water has slowed down, and boom, first thing that happens, I get caught in a rock. damn, not the way I want to start my my fishing vacation. It's not really a fishing vacation. I'm just making it a fishing vacation, and you can do that too. So I decided to move after that, but I had to move the whole car because everybody, I my family, was right here on the beach because there were light waves right here, and the water is generally going south. So this was a protected area, and the water was ripping through here. And as soon as you threw this away, the water would stop moving your bait. Fantastic. So to do that, you have to drive back down here to this Jupiter Beach Road and go up the side here through this little very, very tight trail and then park in this area, which is funny. If you go there, pretty much any given day, you'll see people with big trucks. They have rod racks all over the trucks. You'll see cars that are, you know, regular old full-size, mid-size cars. And there'll be like old guys sitting in them, and they'll have 6, 7 rods in the back, and they're just sitting there waiting. I'm like, what are you waiting for? And several of them will talk to you to see what's going on out there, since they're obviously waiting for something, the tides or a mackerel run or people who know what they're doing. So when I was going back and forth, some guy asked me, "Hey, how's the fishing out there? What you catching?" And I said, no, son, I see the fish going back and forth. The inlet's moving too fast. Things are biting my shrimp, but I can't catch them because my hook was too big. I didn't know that at that point in time, but later I found out and I saw the problem, and then I started hooking a lot of fish, which turned out to be grunts, lots and lots of grunts, and some red snappers. So what I was thinking and what I was told, several of them were actually retirees in their, you know, early to mid 60s. And one of them said, "I come here every morning, every lunch, and every evening, every day." That's his life. If you do it in the morning, if you do it at lunch, and you do it in the evening, that's your life. It's a pretty fantastic life. I don't know why he was sitting there waiting for the tide action to happen. He didn't want to, like, you know, sit out there and burn in the sun maybe, or get a tan, or the fishing is just so good when the tide's just right. He knows what the time is. He looks at his watch, he takes a nap, he wakes up, time for the tide to switch. He rocks in there and during the slack tide, the inlet slows down. He's able to present his fishing bait in the right place to the right fish, notably bigger ones than I was actually aiming for, and catch what he wants to catch right here in the inlet. But for the most part, it didn't work for me because I had the wrong hook. Right bait, wrong size hook. You would think that wouldn't matter so much, but it matters a lot when the fish's mouth just isn't big enough, and they're very good at stealing things. So let's go a little bit closer. This is an actual, I can't call it a pier or anything, but it's a walkway. And along here I tried to cast my line. This is what I told you, it was going from left to right like crazy. And there's boats going across through here, and the waves are crashing up, sometimes even over the wall. And it's just not nice right here. And you don't see many people fishing here. There'll be some right here, just sitting on the wall, casting out, you know, eating their lunch, you know, drinking or whatever, hanging out with some chicks or with their girlfriend or whatever. Not really like focusing on fishing. That's cool. But the real fishermen are out here. And I met a couple of people. One guy was a local who actually lived in Juno Beach. No, he lived in Palm Springs, which I went the next day. And he told me some great information down there that actually worked, and I started hitting some fish. But up here, he said my shrimp was right, but I didn't have the right size hook. They couldn't get their mouth around it, and I would probably keep missing. And that's exactly what happened. And there was another guy that came up later, and he was actually shark fishing, and he had several rods. One of them was for catching a bait, and the other was for actually catching a shark. Now, if you're wondering what kind of shark you're catching right here next to the shore in a shallow water, it's actually the black-tip shark. during this time, beginning of January. It's actually the natural black-tip shark migration. Four or five people that I just randomly came across brought it up without me even mentioning it. So it's obviously a big thing. Some people, like the locals, don't like it because when people fish for that, they put the bait out there, there's blood everywhere, and it's usually near a beach, and it kind of encourages those sharks to come closer inland, and that could possibly encourage shark bites for people that are trying to enjoy themselves on the beach, like in this picture right here. I wonder if this picture is actually from the day I was there. It doesn't say. It says 2019. So it's a possibility that that picture might have me in it. But anyway, usually done every 15 to 30 days. So I was out here and I cast it all around. There's little tiny fish here, nothing to be said of. They're all hiding. And then right about here to here, like starting from right here, casting out all the way to, all the way to right here. So this area right here has a few rocks, nothing to really get hung up on. And I swear, every time I threw out there with a shrimp, I got a bite. And within 1 or 2 bites or tugs, the shrimp was gone. Like instantly. I'm like, how in the hell are they taking my shrimp off my hook? It can't be this good. So I just kept throwing and throwing and throwing and throwing. And I'm relentless. Most people would give up after losing 15, 20, 25 shrimp in a row. But me, my family's over there. I'm trying to catch fish. I'm still having a good time. I'm frustrated. I don't know what's going on. I'm asking people near me what the hell's going on. They tell me. I'm so frustrated because I can't go back to the bait shop right now and get, better gear. So I just try to, wing it. And eventually I do get a grunt, and it's a big grunt, which is the reason it got its hook around it got its mouth around the hook. But man, I really had to adjust the way I fished. Usually, when the fish is nibbling, I let them taste it a little bit, and so they can suck it up, and I can get like a good bite in them, but not good enough so they swallow it. This time, as soon as they make that first hit, you have to rear back. Because when they bang it, they bang it. It's not a joke. They're not nibbling. They're not tasting. They're literally trying to rip the shrimp right off the hook. They know it's soft because I had a frozen shrimp. I was told maybe I want to use a fresh shrimp. It's more firm and closer to to the texture of squid, which is another good bait. Well, isn't that great? It's really good for working in harmony with the shrimp because it's so tough. So my next day I found a better way to do it. I actually put the shrimp on, and then I put the squid on top of that, and the squid actually holds the shrimp for longer. It gives me enough time to feel the fish and hook the fish. It's only like a second or two of time. And that little bit of time is what made the whole difference. And a smaller hook. That helped. Just one size smaller, all it took. It wasn't like a drastic, from this size to this size. It was like from this to this. Half an inch, maybe a quarter inch. So after I did that, things started happening. But here, I didn't get that chance, and I caught that one little fish. I gave it to the guy who was shark fishing, and he did get a bite, and that thing went zzz, and then it was gone. I was really looking forward to see and catch that shark and whatever he was going to do with it. Or at least, yell at myself, hey, get over here! This guy's got a shark with my fish I caught! Super cool, but, that didn't happen. So, that's the way that went over here. But, let's go over some more information. I didn't see any jet skiers when I was out there. I did get my bait from a particular place. It was just called Jupiter Bait and Tackle. It's a small little place right here off of, this is A1A? Yes. Right off A1A. It's an easy ride. Over here, you just take the Indian Town Road and go up here, and boom, you're there. There are several places to get, fishing stuff from. I looked at this before I even went to Florida before I flew over. So when I said I'm going to get bait, I was like, I'm going to Jupiter Bait and Tackle. They were on the top of this mat pack. They had a bunch of reviews. The reviews were good. I'm going there. But on the way there, I passed like 4 bait shops I could have stopped at, and I was like, should I go there? Should I go there? It's right there. But I didn't because, I had my wits about me, and I'm gonna go to this place that I researched just a little bit, and it turned out very well. The guy gave me good advice. He asked me good questions, and he gave me the bait that I needed. Not the right size hook, but the right bait. So let's look a little bit into his website. It was a really old guy, not this young cool guy here. Maybe this was him, I don't know, 40 years ago. This definitely wasn't him. I'm sure he would even have his picture up there. But anyway, to the fishing bait right here. I believe there's 2 ginormous coolers all the way in the back. The place is really neat and tidy and organized. And inside of it is full of mullet, full of herring, full of shrimp, full of squid. And he's like, hey, get that shrimp right there. So he asked me, like, yeah, what you trying to catch? And I was like, I don't really know. What's at Jupiter Inlet? That's what I'll be fishing over at Dubois Park with my family. They'll be on the beach and I'll be at the inlet. He said, oh, so you're just trying to catch anything that bites. Want some shrimp. And I got the old shrimp out of the box. And he looked at me and I said, okay, I need some like a rig and some weights. He's like, okay, try this out. This is an egg sinker. Has the hole in the middle. You put that in the line. You get this rig here. You tie it up with the swivel, and then the weight stops there, and the bait and the rig goes up to this like a 1.5 or a 2-foot leader to some size hook, which was too big, and told me how it slides up and down. The weight stays in one spot, and while the bait goes off and lures the fish. It's more of a live bait kind of rig, but a lot of people use it for frozen bait and stuff like that too. It doesn't really matter, but it helps. I'm not sure how it helps. I think it's a good ocean rig in general from shore. I also bought a Rapala X-rap. So I thought maybe I would find or see some menhaden like schools just hitting near the surface of the beach, and all kinds of good fish are behind that. So if that happened, I wanted to be able to switch my bait, put on Rapala X, and just go flip it out there and give it a quick jerk and catch the fish. But never saw any menhaden. And I asked the guy if there were any menhaden around there, and wasn't happening. Nobody has seen any menhaden, which kind of stinks. I was hoping to get into that action. So no, I still have it somewhere. Oh man, where did I put the menhaden? Where did I put my Rapala X? Oh, I know where it is. Hold on. I actually brought home a bag of extremely smelly bait that I got back from a family friend, and also the stuff I bought. So, oh god, it stinks in there. Woo, that smells like a grunt. So, this is the Rapala X. As you can see here, it's a good thing to kind of show a menhaden. If you see a school, it has that red like a feather tail on the back. It kind of shows that it's injured or bleeding, and the fish, that's all it needs to see. And the front has the same thing. See, it was not cheap, but I'll be ready next time. And I can use this locally too. It kind of looks like something else as well. Oh, I bought those large hooks. This is a 1/0 Mustad Ultra Point hook with 30-pound leader, and it was a 36-inch fluorocarbon leader. That's the one that was too big. Here it is by J&B Baits. No disregard here, but it was too big for those tiny fish I was going after. Now, a real monster like most of the people there are fishing for, it would be perfect. But for me, it was just too big of a hook. So I had to switch to a 2/0, I believe. I'm not even sure if it's even in here. Oops. Sorry about this delay. Wait, that. I think they're both 1/0, but they look different. With this, I got from 7 Seas Tackle in Palm Beach Shores. Shout out to the owner there. Awesome job of helping with this ghost leader rig. Fluorocarbon as well. It's 1/0. It has a different shape to the hook. It's an owner hook, which I believe is extra sharp. I know because I have a hole in my hand where it entered and exited. Make sure you pay attention when you're swinging these things around. You might get hooked instead of the fish. Yeah, 20-pound line test. It was virtually invisible in the water. Fantastic. I like these ghost leader rigs by owner. Very nice. And the price was right too. Whew, that bag stinks. So yeah, if you look for anything like this in the local area, this place is awesome. Now, when I was there, happened to be my birthday too. And I went to a place called the Jettys the Jettys Restaurant. Awesome food. I had the grouper, native. Just had it grilled, delicious fish, and another family member had what was it? A snapper with some like delicious sauce on it, and was ridiculously good. I was like, oh, maybe I should have got that. But straight up fish. That's all I'm about. I mean, when I get it local, I'm all on it. And I didn't have to clean it and scale it, or gut it, or anything like that. That's also a plus. So, here's that place. It's pretty super cool. It has a nice feature. See here, it's right on the water, and you can actually walk out. I had my table right here under this awning, and then while my food was being prepared, took my children out to here. And if you're wondering what this boat is, it's actually a fishing charter called Real Candy. You can actually look them up. They have really high ratings for their services, and I didn't personally take them, but they're right there next to the restaurant. You can have a delicious meal, and then you can go out and go fishing. Win-win. So I took them out here, and right here, there was something staring at us. Guess what it was? A whole lot of snook, like 15 to 20 of them. I'm talking like, this even in the frame? Like this. I'm talking like big. I'm talking like 2 feet, 2.5 foot long. Not even sure how heavy that is. I'm going to say the biggest one was near 10 pounds. People do ridiculous stuff to actually catch a snook because they're delicious. And they're just sitting there looking at me. Right in the light of one of the light posts. I'm not sure if they're waiting for a charter boat to come by and just drop, the entrails or whatever the latest catch was into the water so they could suck it up, or if they're just, sitting there waiting for the next day or something to happen. I'm not sure why they were there. Now I'm looking at the way the ground was. No, I really don't know why they're there. They're just hiding in the inlet, waiting. Maybe they're hiding from sharks. I'm not sure. But they were just boom. They were right there. There was probably some more. I saw some more here. It was harder to see them because the light wasn't there, and there was some right up against the thing here as well. And that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. But I didn't catch any snook. So, boo for me. Wait, I mean, right over here. Here and here. I was looking at the wrong one. It's this one. See, Jettys Waterfront. Oh, and I have a picture of that in case you don't believe me. Boom, there it is. What is this? Snook everywhere, taunting me. Hey, why didn't you bring your fishing rod? Where's that shrimp at now, brother? Nope. They'll live another day. But, you know, some other things happened there. I have some pictures from it. This is when I got home, and I saw some fish going by. Look at that. You see that? Let's actually look at that close. That was ridiculous.
And right when I get home, guess what swims right by me? Anyway, stuck on a rock. I'm gonna get this out. You can see here it's all rocks. Rocks, and the water is moving like crazy. And I'm just trying to figure this out. Salty fish tugging the rocks. So getting hung is actually a good thing per se. It means I'm in the right spot. But I have to bet that these fish will either bite it before I get hung, or maybe one will bite it and get me off of it. So I don't have time to wait for that. So I'm gonna have to pull up my line and try again.
So, as you can see, I wasn't so happy about that. I don't want to go through all these videos, but at least let's go over the ones where I caught something.
Looks like I caught myself a little jack here, so I'm gonna give it away to this guy's bait. He's gonna catch a big boy.
The big boy is
Looks
a
like I
shark.
caught myself a little jack here, so
Yeah, so I'm gonna post these videos. What am I talking about? No, these videos are already posted on YouTube. This one in particular is the one that has all of these sections put together and all the goods and the bads. And this video is an overarching video of the whole area and what actually happened that day. Well, in that location. So, this is pretty much it. And if you're thinking about fishing in Jupiter, Florida, you should really consider the Jupiter Inlet for your Jupiter Inlet fishing, because the fishing at Jupiter Inlet can be good if you know what you're doing. The people are there, the people are waiting in their cars. You have to hit the tide right, you have to have the right bait, you have to have the right size hook, you have to have the right rigs, and you have to probably have multiple rods because it really depends on what you're fishing for. Are you fishing for the big fish that you can catch, like the jack, or you want to catch something a little bigger? You want to get a grouper, you want to get a red snapper, you want to get a margate, or are you looking for a snook, a big old snook that comes by, or maybe you're trying to get the black-tipped shark during the migrations, or you're going for something else that I don't even know, like somebody who was at Palm Beach Shores going after barracuda. I didn't know they even came on the shore. Shows what I know about saltwater fishing. I don't know much. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly trying. I'm constantly out there getting my fishing on so I can get better and more knowledgeable so I can help you. Fisherman who wants to go fishing more often. Or just again, because you stopped and now you're thinking about doing it again. I'm doing it again. I'm making fish happen. I'm making all these videos happen. I'm doing all the research. I'm making blogs. I'm fixing up the website. I even have the other thing where I'm helping other fishing industries get found online so they can find customers so they can get to their businesses and do their fishing charters or selling of fish or wholesale of fish or et cetera, environmental agencies and stuff like that. I just want to help out. I want the fishing industry to thrive and survive, because right now we're really at a tipping point in pretty much anywhere you go, and I just want to do my part to help out so that not just I get to go fishing, but generations after me. My son likes to fish, so I want him to be able to fish as well and have a healthy environment in place to go fishing. Like the Charles River right now is doing better than ever after 30 years, being polluted by basically war and more manufacturing. And now it's back and getting better. But if you go there on a daily basis, you'll see stuff floating that isn't very kosher. But the fishing's good. It's working on it. It's cleaning it out. It's doing what it needs to do. That's what Mother Earth does. So this is ended here. I'm Dwight Norris, fishingatwork.com, telling you to go fishing and go fishing on vacation.